We're back. Check in with me about the sound. Okay, well, we'll let a few people get in the room and I'll start. Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. And I'm gonna do the revolving door first, and then I'm gonna do the 1111 Divine Lovers, and I'm not gonna do it the way that I normally do it. And the previous videos have been taken offline. Now, they were either made private or unlisted, so you can find most of them in the show notes, like not the show notes, the playlist. The playlist will have whatever is you're looking for. Okay, so we have the messages here, and it's from the devil. Okay, so not a lot of people are getting in the room. I'm just going to go ahead and go on with the messages. So my objective is to give a little guidance on the blockages to our spirit, karma, life, past, destiny, and what we need to do in order to leverage our power and our self-worth and value. That's also the power of our spirit and our being. So in relationship to, well, see, we are using the tarot of the Dark Sun, and I really like this deck because it makes sure that you get the mysteries of whatever is going on. And right now, this is about our temptations. A lot of times we get tempted into devilish functions because we're chasing a moment of ecstatic bliss. And let's talk about it. It starts out in reverse. So if you're not playing a video game, if you're not meditating, if you're not in a dream, this is negative. It means that you either have fear to go on the journey, which I don't think, or you're trying to go on a journey that you shouldn't, and that the universe is blocking you. That sounds more in alignment because, look, there's the devil right there, the shadow. And this is about revolving door. So it means that you should be released or you're reckless to go on that journey. And it would talk about a new foundation, a new man, a new person who is dominant, who has power over you, your new king. And in that house, well, let's look here at the king. The king is in reverse, and now he's in the strength house. So this is the person who's domineering, or you give your power away to men or to the concept of a man. And there's an aha moment there. You should really hear the wake-up call that a man is not a plan. And this, it should be a long-term goal. You should want it, and you should harmonize yourself with the energy of it. You shouldn't try to force it into your life. Because it's in the Hangman house. So your strength, courage, and wisdom is bringing a delay. Or your strength, courage, and wisdom is delayed. And that should be the secret here. That's where your thoughts need to be. On your spiritual perspective, on the spiritual side of things. Because you know better, actually, that to go down that journey will cause shadow. But for some reason, there's lust around. So I want to say, hey, if you need to get your needs met, try not to get love involved. And if you do get love involved, understand that this person may not be on the up and up. They could have an allegiance or an association with negative functions. Who knows what the demon looks like on their shoulder. Another thing is that you need to purify after them. You need to detoxify yourself from them, detoxify them from your life. So if you haven't taken the time to put some rose quartz and obsidian under your pillow and literally put them in a little baggie and put them in your panties when you're sleeping, if the I call her the bitch comes to town, but if you're on your cycle, and if you're done with your cycle, do it on the full moon. Okay? Put some rose quartz and obsidian either in your panties while you're sleeping or under your pillow for if you don't have your cycle anymore for 7 days after the full moon. And if you do have your cycle, do it when your cycle starts. This is a good way to cut cords and to purge and to purify energy from previous lovers. I would put citrine and selenite in the corners of your bedroom while you're doing this, or put an egg in each corner, and then when you're done with this little thing, throw the eggs away either in a 4-way crossroad or a running water, like a lake, okay? Not anywhere near your home, not anywhere that you cross over on a regular basis. Yeah, so you're you're caught up. You sprung, you all caught up. The reason being is you can't temper yourself. You can't get a hold of yourself. When you get a little taste of love, you go crazy. And that should be the most obvious thing, and it is where you're giving away your power, and it is where you can gain control of yourself to see things clearly as they really are. That's what you need to learn. You need to learn your own talents. You need to learn what it is that men want from you, and it ain't your body. It ain't your beauty. It's your power. See, there's a difference between an easy target, like somebody that gets mugged, somebody gets their car stolen, somebody gets, taken advantage of in some way, versus somebody that is a spiritual target. Oftentimes, you're not gullible. Oftentimes, you have a bright light, and it's the devil that wants to take it from you, and they're coming through to you through this person. So just be aware, because that's the whole story in and of itself. End it right there. So I'm going to keep going because you're not learning what you need to be learning. We have the Hermit on top of the Hermit in the star house. So you need to be of service. And honey, when you're of service, just because you can fix him doesn't need you to be touching his genitals. If you want to heal somebody that you were intimately interested in, romantically interested in, if you go into the healing stage, be careful, because that's where you're going to get caught up. Narcissists, demons, they look for empaths. They look for people with a lot of light, with a lot of resources to give, and they look for somebody who's willing to give those resources because they like fixers. And the person wants to look like a fixer or wants you to think they're a fixer so they can take and take and take from you and not give anything in return. This says the thing that you're searching for is alive in you, and you need to find discernment about yourself. The thing that you need to learn is about you. And you're a public servant too. So please, if you need to heal somebody, don't touch their genitals, because now this is telling me that you're believing in the worst and that you've got to go into the darkness to find a light. But unfortunately, this needs to be your own darkness because your beauty gets you into trouble. You've got to learn how to navigate your beauty in the world, because the way you want to love is going to literally attract the devil. This is in the devil's house right here. And that's what the story is. We're going on the story of the devil. So frankly, it needs to be released. You need to learn how to bring death and transformation. Death means to divide. So divide the spiritual from the physical. Death means to die, to divide, to split into two. Die means to make two of what was once one. Good, 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 good. Blocking for your protection. Wonderful. So, the love. is in the death house. You need to have a transformation, a change in love. And whomever you used to be pining over, if they haven't come back by now, let them go. I give you 2 weeks to come back to petition, and then I move on. And if you do come back after the 2 weeks, I won't answer your first couple times. You need to knock on my door, I won't answer my door. You need to blow up my phone, I won't answer my phone. You need to send me a letter in the mail or an email, I might after then. And I had to learn that the hard way, so please go in that direction, because I used to be the opposite and it wasn't that way. I wish I were more like a Leo, like when your lover's done and you finally let go, because it takes you forever to let go, you're done, you don't go back. My Aquarian moon should give me more, and it doesn't. So the death card now is in the illusion, because this is in the moon house, and you're hanging on to something that once was. This is the hangman. And so unless you're into bondage too, this really doesn't, you shouldn't be into that. Because it means that you have some illusion and you're stuck there, and that's what you need to release. A change in the reality, a change in the dream, a change in the illusion is what that means when the death card ends up in the moon house. And the moon house is in the high priestess house. So you're having deep connections to this person. I have the same thing. The person that is that false twin for me, maybe false twin, who knows? My Neptune is conjunct their moon. So we have shared dreams in the whole 9. And this is the same kind of energy. The moon in the high priestess house is your secret. Your secret is you know everything about this person. You know them on a soul level. For you, it wasn't about getting to know them in this lifetime like it would have been for them. For you, it would have been remembering who you already know them to be, because you've known them from before. And this is a lifetime of writing the balance, justice card. And the justice card in the high priestess house means woman's rights. So you need to protect your sovereignty in this situation. And if you want to learn the technology that I'm using, check the show notes. Come to the Mystery School to learn, and then you can see the tablet that I'm using in the show notes. And it's the Dark Sun Tarot, and I pulled it on the 30th of August, so it should be really recent. Hi, Sammy from Dallas. So the high priestess now is in the aha house. So this is an artist. This is a person they have premonitions from that span all of the timeline. And you should know to move forward. You should be able to use this to make something out of it and to move forward. Because it's all about the spiritual world here. And it is about your previous connection to them. You had them come to you in this lifetime to right a wrong from a previous lifetime. Excuse me. And see, something is ended. You're trying to make something out of it. You're trying to recapture something from that's already over. And see, the guidance here is let go or be dragged. It's very clear to you that it's ended. It's very clear to you that it served its purpose, but you're conjuring it back up. Let it die. The saddest part of a broken heart isn't the ending as much as the start. Go listen to that song. Feist. Let it die. The tragedy starts from the very first part, losing your mind for the sake of your heart. It was clear from the beginning that the ending was already at the beginning. It was clear, out there in the open. Listen to that song, Feist, Let It Die. That's coming through. And the Empress is now, because that was in the Empress house, the Empress is in the Lover's house. So you're married to Spirit, and that's this whole journey. You're married to Spirit. And see, Spirit says let it go, let it die. Death card and the Devil card. This is a new death. This is a new temptation that's always good. That's already needing to be released from the jump. So now let's check on this twin flame connection, the 1111. So that was for the karmic partnerships, by the way. And now we're going to do, because you do have heaven on earth and divine guidance. It was hard to tell just how good I felt. Listen to that song, Let It Die by Feist. Okay, so we're going to check the twin connection. And remember, your twin flame is your higher self anchored into the physical by another member of the soul group. See? Losing your mind for the sake of your heart. Yeah, so we're still working on ourselves. We're not ready for this twin situation just yet. Because the gate was open and we were stuck on somebody, the wrong one, so we missed the opportunity to let this person come through. We may have already met them and we were stuck on the previous person before them. So we're all, see, it's true. Because again, the devil has come to the center. So I would say that you're not ready for the right person because you're pining over the wrong person. And see, you know when you don't need to be in love. When you're loving being by yourself and you're single. And oftentimes, this is a person that you haven't had sex with, or maybe that you weren't that interested in sex immediately, or you're interested in sex, but you weren't interested in getting to know them. Let it die. So this starts out in your self-worth and value and your hope, because you should be healing from crisis right now. So you would have met this twin when you're healing from the wounding from the previous person. And see, your twin is you anchored into the physical through a member of your soul group. You would have met them, but you would have had no self-worth and value, and you would have been trying to heal from crisis, trying to work things out, trying to heal, and you would have been looking for spiritual principles, trying to get a reading, looking at tarot videos and the like, and probably it wouldn't have brought anything forward, because you would have been needing to release it. So the secret there is that no amount of spiritual principles was going to bring that person back. It would have gave you tools to build space for the next one, who was hopefully the right one. And see, you should have spent time learning on how to move forward, figuring out an intention to move forward. And moving on, you would have had to travel at night, travel in the dark. You would have had to leave that person without a plan for the next person. And see, that would have been problematic for you, because you would have felt like you didn't get the point, or you might not have gotten the point. A lot of conjuring up instead of taking a stand. So you would have been defensive. You were still holding out even though you're trying to look for more options, and it really wasn't working because you weren't all the way out of it. You hadn't completely let go. So you would have been lying to yourself. Seven of Swords. See, out in the world, things are still coming together, and your twin is still healing from karma on his own. Or if you're a man watching, on her own. But actually, if you're a man watching, you're control freak, and you have toxic leadership or toxic control over your life. So you right now you're working at detoxing. You're trying to heal. You're trying to find your right path. You're trying to go through the world in the proper way. And so you're probably chatting up a bunch of people, male or female, chatting up a bunch of people, sending little love letters, probably to previous people, seeing if you should go make them an option, make them an option, make them an option. Instead of cultivating a bigger, brighter, better self, more self-worth and value, strength, courage, and wisdom, more harmony. Okay, so that's your dreams, desires, aspirations, hearts, ambitions. When you're in that space, you'll automatically attract that person, and it wasn't happening. So love looks like needing to learn more about oneself, more of one's ability, more of one's sovereignty here. And see, that's the change to make in order to be most abundant. Right now, somebody's in crisis mode. They're trying to heal. They're still hoping, wishing, praying about a person that's already left, that's already dissipated. See, the karmic messages come into the divine message. The karmic partnership is also come into the twin flame. So my understanding is the collective right now needs to let go of previous options, previous almost maybes, and spend time loving on themselves. Because we have the devil in the middle of the reading. That's not a good sign. We're holding on to karma. We're holding on to toxicity. We're holding on to shadow. And we're conjuring up. We're sitting there watching the cycle of this come forward. And see, it's putting us in a bad world. The world of intuitive dreaming and programming that we're on is not helpful. High Priestess in reverse. Either you don't need to be on that cycle. You don't have permission to be looking at that cycle, viewing that timeline. Or you withdrawn from the cycle, or you need to withdraw from the cycle. And if it's the devil, you don't need to be in that cycle. So let's get a little bit more clarification on this High Priestess and the... Yeah, you're taking on somebody else's burden. And you're giving away your spiritual power to their spirit. And you're being drained. So that happens sometimes. Sometimes what will happen is a demonic entity will come to you and it will hijack you and hijack your key to heaven by coming and entering you through somebody who was a false twin flame. So somebody who was a soulmate in a previous lifetime, you reconnect with them in this lifetime and they attach to you. It's called an STD, sexually transmitted demon. So for those of you who are still pining over somebody you know you shouldn't be pining over, go out and get some, okay, so go online and buy some blue anil balls. Indigo balls. And if you can't find it or you're cheap, it's called bluing balls. That's the cheaper version. Rickets is another version of it. It'll either come in a cube or a ball. You want to soak that in water for 2 weeks. Do it 2 weeks and then look where the moon is and keep soaking in water until the new moon around that time. And then take that blue water and you want to pour it over a handkerchief, a white handkerchief. So what you're going to need for this ritual is you're going to need a white handkerchief. You're going to need thorn apple seeds. You can buy them online. They're cheap. And you need blue anil balls or bluing cubes or rickets. It's all the same thing. It'll make blue water. It's like copper and stuff. Okay, so you're going to take this blue water. You're going to pour it on a white handkerchief and you're going to let it turn blue. It'll dye it blue. And then you're going to want to take these thorn apple seeds and put them in the handkerchief. And you're going to want to put it fold it into a cube and sleep with it under your pillow for a few nights. And then you're going to want to take that handkerchief with the thorn apple seeds and you're going to want to carry it around on your person. Put it in your medicine bag, create a new medicine bag with it. You'll notice that men that used to be preying on you will run away from you. This is an anti-incubus ritual working. And it'll take care of more than incubus. It'll take care of any type of entity that's trying to enter you through the love vibration that doesn't have good intentions. Any entity that's trying to feed on you spiritually. Okay? This is the demon don't mess with me, demon don't F with me little working. Okay? So let me just check in and see if that was a good thing to tell you. And then we'll end it there. I'm done for the night. Please join the Mystery School if that's something that you're interested in. That's the way to get a reading from me before December 22nd. And I will give you a daily spiritual practice, but we can talk about anything. Anything. Looking for a new job, looking for a new home, looking for a new career, finding what your path is, entering your life path, spirit, karma, destiny, finding what your life's calling is, all of that. Okay, so that working, you can't substitute that working for a proper spiritual belief. You need to have the mind frame that's not looking for loopholes. And you need to understand that you're going to be hiding in the temple if you do that and you don't also do the work on your spirit and your soul to move out of that energy where you're no longer susceptible, where you don't need to put warding and veil yourself to stay away from demons. And, well, let's talk about this. Let's just go on this journey real quick, because it's saying it'll work, but you need to change your belief or you'll put yourself in a bottle. You'll literally put yourself on hold. You'll freeze yourself. So it starts out in the house of victory. That's the Chariot house. But it's in reverse. So it's saying that unless you find the right path, unless you have hope, faith, optimism in a future, a bigger, brighter, better you, it's not going to happen. Because you need to figure out that thing. You need to find your light in the dark, or why are you doing it? You're wasting your time. So then it'll only be protection. Because you'll be hiding in an organization because you're not going to have a right place in the community. So you'll be putting protection on yourself and you won't find a bigger, brighter, better community. So that's the real truth. The reason you're attracting all these mofos is because you're not in the right people, places, and things. The vibe in you is attracting the wrong type of environment. So you've got to burn your house down a little bit and you won't lose your foundation. You'll build a bigger, brighter, better you. Unfortunately, you've got to tear down the foundation and build a new one because you've been programmed and conditioned the wrong way, so much so that it's created a horrible life, or a horrible dating life, or a horrible love life, if not your whole life, or at least a horrible love life. A wounding, and it has helped you, but it seems here that we're refusing to heal. And it's true, we're sitting there knowing the secret, but we're not willing to mitigate the circumstances to create a reality of this newness. So, yeah, because we're, again, so this is another indicator that we won't lose our foundation, but we will come into alignment and balance. Because we received the premonition up, where we're afraid of all the love interests that we've had ever and that we might have in the future. It seems like nobody's commenting, and that's okay. I'm just going to check something real quick. Great. Nobody's commenting. See, and that'll that'll put an end to the devil. The devil's in the tower house here, and that's that's karmic love. So the goddess doesn't really want to tell anything about 1111 right now because she feels like we're not in the right place. She's saying like, listen. You need to detox, you need to clean, you need to heal. Because love needs to be spiritual. And if you're hoping, wishing, praying, conjuring, yearning up some hurting from a previous wounding, you're not in that spiritual love. You're in a man as a plan type of situation. Hi, origami lady. Welcome. So I kind of want to stop, but let's go to it. So you're in his house where you're waiting on something outside of you to come help you build a bigger, better foundation for yourself. And you're lacking autonomy, franchise, and control. So this means you need to build something up inside yourself, because look what we have as the guidance. Detoxify your toxicity. This means you're giving your power away to the whole concept and idea of love. That either you're going to get hurt in love, or that you can't get what you want in love, or that you need to lower yourself to accomplish love. And look what that is. That's the devil. And see, the universe is waiting on you to see the light. This is the sun card with the gate. The gate's open. It says you can have a beautiful life, a beautiful contract, but you need to go on the journey, and you need to find a teacher that can change your life. You need to find a teacher that either has Sekhmet energy, or you need to become a devotee of Sekhmet, or you need to find a teacher that can change your life by teaching you strength, courage, and wisdom. All of the above, one of the above, don't matter, don't care. Because right now, spiritually, you're out of alignment, and that's what you need to come to full completion. So you're out of alignment with the spiritual laws, and that's why you can't manifest what you want. You can't find the right partner. You can't find... Does that make sense? You're out of alignment. I don't allow people to knock on my door, so whoever that was is about to get snatched. Just letting y'all know. Mofos here know not to bother me. I don't even answer my phone when it rings. You need to announce yourself in a text message. Homeboy better know. I'm just going to say it. So it means that you're not practicing the right spiritual laws, and it literally is spiritual laws. Literally is spiritual laws. So this is when your talent is latent. Okay? Magician in reverse means you have a talent, but it's latent. And just change the letters around. No. So, really what it is, all of the 9 planets are latent talents, and you need to go through the spheres of density to those talents. Okay? Pardon the distraction. And let me just tell you, there's newness around me, so people haven't been scared straight yet, and I'm going to have to get to work on that. Pardon the interruption. So, this is why we're at an impasse. This not being able to manifest our talents. Oh, yeah. And so this is why we're at an impasse. This is why we're stuck. Because we don't want to build these foundations that we need. So look, we can't go nowhere. We're halted, looking for a man. Because what we need to give ourselves what a man is going to give us. And we can't eat our own poom poom. You know. We might be able to steam our yoni, but we ain't going to be able to do much. And this is autonomy, franchise, and control system, structures, and foundations. And see, that's why we're at a halt. That's the whole situation here. This is the whole story. This is the card of the twin flame. So we're done. I'm going to take 2 or 3 questions. Actually, pick a number. Don't call it out loud. I'm going to turn my comments off here so I can't see you. Pick a number. Pick a number between 1 and 9. And if you already picked a number, don't change it. For instance, if you picked 33, your number is 6. If you picked 187, your number is 7. Okay, so don't change. That's the wrong thing to do. Go with the first thing your intuition tells you. Okay, so we're going to call upon number 3 or number 12. And the message is boundaries. 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 Your spirits are not going to let their spirits walk all over you. And the word is F you over. And so you just got to be sad about it, period. Because you need to find your heart. Open your heart to me, baby. Okay, so that song's coming through. You've got to learn to open up your heart. You've got to have a clean... They've got to make it through your heart gate correct. And they can't do it. They're looking for any little thing, any low-hanging fruit, and you're not it. You are not vulnerable. You are not the low-hanging fruit. And you're at war. 2 5s here. This is open conflict. Hidden conflict, maybe, if it's in the love situation. And they're not just trying to stick it in you and leaving. They're trying to stick it in you and steal your soul. And they may not be consciously aware of that. So pick a number, any number. But if it's more than, you know, it should be a number between 1 and 13. Between 1 and 14. So the number is 2. And this is the message to everybody, but it's to number 2. Take care of other things. Go on your journey through the physical, because you're trying to build something up in this lifetime, and you got to sit on your throne. You've got to have self-worth and value. People have got to come correct. Homeboy can't show up to your class not having read the syllabus, meaning he needs to collect his common damn sense and get him some. And then you'll be open and welcoming, but you'll have your discernment about you. You'll have your boundaries about you. So that's going to conclude the love messages. I'm turning the, yeah. Hi, Rebelissima. So we're starting Logic in this week, and I'll be calling everybody within 72 hours to tell them what my findings were when they sent their chart information in. So I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'll just say that. And that's for anybody in the mission school. And if you're interested in joining the mission school, check the show notes. And even if you're in the mission school or you're not quite interested, know what I'm doing, know what the new thing is in the temple. So check the show notes and just read it. Just know what's up. Know what's going on. I want you to have steady access to community. I don't want to get you excited and leave you hanging. Okay, I'm aware of that, and I'm going to apologize for my part in it. And I'm just going to put that message out to you, Rebelissima, and keep going. So if anything is curious to you, check the show notes. Always check the show notes, because I want you to know what I'm doing. We're making a new shift. We're making a new transition. I got a message from Spirit, and she said to me that I'm in the business of saving souls. I need to be working for people that are doing a daily spiritual practice and that are trying to learn how to work with their spirits or find out who their goddess is. Everybody else is secondary, on back burner, period, point blank. It is not my choice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So just so you know, I am working on training a new oracle and a couple priestesses, and they're going to be doing readings, and they're going to be handling all my love readings, and they're going to learn the gorgeous way, and they're going to take an assessment of you so that I can do coaching, send you, inspirational voice messages. That's what I do with all my clients right now. And they'll work on you with the day-to-day love shit, and that's it, okay? So peace, love, unity, and respect. I'm going to go handle business, and I'm going to medicate. I hope you do the same. I will be... give me just a second. Let me get my calendar. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be holding breakout sessions and private lodges, invitation only, for new moon intention setting practices and the devotional metrics that you need around that. Okay, so I am blind as a bat. One moment. Okay. So Friday the 7th, Saturday the 8th, and Sunday the 9th. The message will go out to everybody in the mystery school or in any type of coaching program. But if you're a part of the public, email oracle@vertexofabundance.org if maybe you want to get wet your whistle a little bit and see how Lodge is. Okay. You can also just submit your birth time, Giggle Glimmer. In Lodge, though. Do it in the Slack group. So Peace be with you. Take good care of yourself. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. If you're interested in the private lodge for the new moon intention setting, oracle at vertexofabundance.org. And I forgot I have a little handy dandy stylus. I don't need to lean over the table. Take good care of yourself. Au revoir, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen.